Over the years, I have tuned in to some creators who have expressed being peeved by how there are a lot of people who like to document pretty much everything in their lives. They're every day, they'll document when they're gonna take a shower, what they're eating, when they're gonna eat it, what they're wearing, what they're driving, them cleaning, them going shopping, you name it. Anything, no matter how mundane, it is now becoming an event that is documented. And quite frankly, I can say I fall into the category of sometimes I will record myself eating my food because I genuinely enjoy sharing my thoughts on food because food is an activity we have in common. Therefore, it is a great way to start a conversation. We are all different. We taste things differently. There are some things that I like that y'all ain't gonna like, and vice versa. And I think food, as well as anything that's a necessity for you, really, such as your self care, all those little things, are going to be topics that you can use to legitimately get to know someone and bond with them. But there are creators who have expressed how they're annoyed and frustrated by the people who feel compelled to document everything. And to that, I can tell you that I feel like I understand why you would be annoyed or slash concerned in some cases that you're oversharing online. But I look at it like this. Me personally, if you were to ask me, the first thing I'm going to tell you is that I am excited that this is an opportunity I have, because let me tell you, I don't remember my childhood much anymore. I only remember fragments of it. And if there's something that for some reason I really, really, really wish I could do, is I wish I could observe myself through my eyes as an adult, see myself as a child. How did I act? What did I look like as I was acting? Because I have my memories, certain memories of certain days and certain events, and especially the way mom raised me and stuff. But what is it like to look at it from another perspective, from a third person perspective, looking from the outside? And how did I look? How did I sound? How did I move? The reason being because I ended up growing up to be a very observative person, and there is a lot that I'm able to process and absorb from simply observing. And I feel a little deprived by how I don't get to observe myself during a time that I know was very important for me, as important as it is for any human being. But I'm saying that because I'm having trouble remembering some incidents now, I have a memory of a time and what it was like, what it felt like, but I don't have a memory of me actively living through it. What did I look like while I was riding a bicycle? What did I look like fixated while playing video games? What did I sound like when I was having an argument with my mom? And was she right? Or was I legit clapping back with justification? Those little things, because I do remember times when mom and I would have our fights, and I often felt like my punishment was not deserved. And I guess sometimes I was being punished more for how I acted more than the actual content of what I was saying. In addition, if we think about history, I also feel extremely happy that me recording myself, taking pictures of myself, it's been possible the whole time I've been alive, but I'm just happy that it is accessible pretty much for everybody. It is a guarantee that everybody can have access to this. Maybe not everybody has been filmed for personal consumption. Like, I cannot personally tell you that I have seen my mom making a video of herself, but I'm happy that the opportunity for anybody to do this is there now. Because I remember a time when you documenting yourself, you being documented, you having a portrait of yourself, it had to be something like, if you look at history, you had to be rich and you had to know somebody who had artistic skills to draw a portrait of you. And say, as the cameras became more advanced, you still had to wait a long time holding a pose, standing still, so that the camera could capture it. maybe good, maybe good enough, maybe just right. But it used to suck. It wasn't an immediate process, it wasn't even in color. And sometimes it would capture some things that weren't supposed to be part of the picture. It had distortions or something, stains, I don't know. And that photograph was all you had. Now you can very easily make a copy of those photographs. But I'm just happy that something that used to be reserved for rich classes, rich people, now it's something that, again, just about anyone can have access to this. And I just like to maintain that very present in my mind, that this would have been a privilege granted only to rich people. And I think that it is impressive that now we can capture your voice, how you move. For me as a child, the only videos of me that I can think of would exist. They were never shot by my family. Nobody that I can think of at the time had a video recorder, camera recorder. Maybe someone during someone's birthday, maybe they had a camera and I'm just not remembering it, but I've never personally seen that footage. The only footage I can imagine may still exist of me as a child would be if somehow stores from way back in the day when I was a child that I would shop at with my family still somehow held on to that footage. It wasn't overwritten, it's been stored somewhere, and somehow those tapes still exist. But outside of that, there is no videos of me. And it's not like all of that footage is going to look smooth. It may look grainy. Maybe the frames per second was significantly less than what we get nowadays. Nowadays, we have access to things like 1080p resolution, I think is what that is, and then 60 frames per second. Maybe back then it would have been something like 5 frames per second. I don't know. Whatever it is that makes videos flow smoothly. I don't know about that vocabulary very well. But I'm just saying, you guys, I'm never going to be annoyed or upset by the person who uploads everything to their channel that they want to. If they're okay with it and they don't feel like that's a detriment for their health, I'm cool with it. But I do think that it's still important to have an element of discretion. I'm just saying that I'm happy to have the privilege of this is an option that I have, and I feel like it's very beneficial for me. I never watch my own videos again, but I'm happy that if I wanted to, if I needed to, that is something I can do. Or if there's something that I wish to transmit to someone, but maybe I'm not here anymore, and like I've said before, someone is curious about my opinion on something, maybe they are aware that my channel exists and they can personally go in there to consume it and hear it from me, take it from me, what my thoughts and feelings were on something. I think that is incredible. That is amazing. Why would you get mad at someone for using a tool that it was once reserved for a small number of people? I cannot get mad at that. And especially if you're not hurting anybody, if you're not harming anybody, why trip over it? Well, there you guys have it. That's it from me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I personally wish I had access to those security footage tapes that I'm talking about, just to see myself just once as a kid, like what was my voice truly like. Because I remember I did karaoke one time and I'm like, oh, my voice is horrible. But it would be cool to see how my days are in my memory, but what it looked like from the outside. What was I like as that student who was always obedient and quiet and focused and writing and taking tests? Just, I like to observe people and their nonverbal cues and communication as well. What was my nonverbal communication like? If anything, I wish I had more videos of me as an adult, but not from this perspective. I wish that I had, say, someone filming me as I go out and about so that I get to see how everybody else sees me. But I mean, I can only be narcissistic so much. I'm not meant to have it all, I guess. Anyways, you guys, that's it for me. Bye.